Hi, this is Sansanmashi, and this is a pick a card reading on how to deal with a toxic situation or something like that. I'll think of what I'll title it. But basically, the point of this reading is for any of you who feel you are involved in some sort of toxic situation, circumstance, environment, and are having some sort of difficulties dealing with it at this time, as that makes sense because it's a toxic situation. I'm hoping that this reading might help. Basically, what I'm planning to do with the reading is just kind of do a reading to see what your situation is, and then if I relate to some level, kind of just, I might just talk about things that I did pretty much to deal with these kinds of situations. But again, what I did doesn't necessarily mean it'll work for you. It's just maybe maybe it'll help in some sort of way. So all that being said, you can go ahead and choose a reading. Reading number 1, which is this carnelian. Reading number 2, which is whatever this thing is. And reading number 3, which I believe this is, red jasper. So you can also listen to multiple, all of them, and stuff like that. So go ahead and click the timestamps below for your reading 1, 2, or 3, and we're gonna go ahead and get started with reading number 1. Actually, forgot to say the thing. Thank you all for being here. If any of you would like to reach out to receive a personal reading, a 30-minute reading is $20. A 45-minute reading is $35, and an hour-long reading is $45. So I think those are pretty good deals for the length of the video and whatnot. So if anyone's interested, feel free to check the description with how to send payment and how to contact me and all that. Now that that's out of the way, we're going to go ahead and get started with reading number 1 and look at what toxic situation you might be in. And by the way, I guess I'll have to say this for each one. So for reading 1 and for the other ones, this is not about like right or wrong or like this person is toxic or that thing is toxic. It's just how do you feel about it? And it's like if you feel this is toxic for you, that is all that really matters to me. A situation can be toxic for you, but healing for someone else, depends on the person and the situation and stuff. So we're just gonna look into this situation for you. So we get this as the situation. So it might be a family situation or a home situation. Perhaps this is about a specific individual. It can be a lot of things, but it could just be that there's one individual in particular that has like a really big role on you feeling this way. A weird sense of love that could be perhaps a bit suffocating or dominating might be a word that resonates if that does for you guys. Maybe you've heard something like they just love you so much. So that's kind of an energy I'm getting here. Yeah, and they seem to have no problem expressing that super openly. So if you're resonating with this as a toxic situation, I'm getting that they do this in such a way that ultimately might make them feel good, but it might still make you feel small. So it's like they could be complimenting you or saying that this is out of love, but at the end of the day, it makes them feel big and perhaps makes you feel small, is what I'm getting from this. Yeah, this is a big card. This is the one I relate to the most. This is like the sun card in the deck. So the way I describe this situation is that there's you, this like stationary figure. You're like a plant, planted in the ground. So this is just where you chill, there's nowhere for you to go. You're like, yeah, this is where I stand and I grow as a plant, and it's like I like it. And then there's like this other person, this energy that like, they're just like, yeah, I'm just doing my own thing. Like, yeah, like I went to the store the other day, had something that I wanted to say, like they just like sing, they dance, they just do their own thing. But in the process, they might like as they're like jamming out, they got the headphones in, they can't hear you, or they don't even see you, they just like wham, you know, like, and then I can just picture this bobblehead like, you know, going back and forth and just like, you know, but you keep on smiling, you know, you keep on smiling, you keep taking this, because it's like, as a plant, you can't really, you know, and if this person was just more aware, it's not that their intention is to necessarily go out of their way and hit this plant, but they are so caught up in their own energy that that's what they do. And by the way, I don't mean to worry any of you guys, and also if the situation is more so extreme for you guys, I'm not trying to downplay anything. That's just what I'm getting with the energy of this card, and it's how I relate to it on an energetic level. These karate chops can be words, they can be energy waves, they can be how they make you feel. It does not have to be physical. For some of you that might resonate this way, yeah, just it totally could. And so however that's resonating, but I'm just, basically, I'm not trying to pull out any really super deep emotions on purpose. I'm not trying to trigger anybody. So my deepest apologies if this is being read in a way that might offend anybody, but I'm just getting that's what the toxic situation is. You're surrounded by some sort of energy. It could be a mother figure, just because all these cards kind of give me that parental figure. It could be a sibling. It could be the whole dynamic of all family around you. It could be your friends. It doesn't have to be the way it would resonate in the way I'm translating it to. I'm just translating these cards because that's how I relate to these. These are soul cards. And so I'm just getting that this might be the situation you are in if this is resonating. And then finally, this other card that I'm getting here, I see this might be a bit of where you are. Like this energy might be intense. So I'm getting, maybe I didn't, well, never mind. But anyways, the energy I'm getting here is that you've experienced a lot of this stuff, maybe in some form of a loop, maybe some combination or mix or something where you just relate to these. I'm just getting like you've gone through a huge process by this point in your life, that you've been able to uncoil that away from yourself and recognize the situation for what it is, and that it doesn't have to define you. You are not your circumstances. You are not what these energies make you out to feel or believe. Yeah, and so that's kind of what I'm getting here. So I'm getting that might just be like the background. So I'm wondering, let's look into what the current situation might be if you're dealing with this still. So you might have dealt with this for a long time, and you're at a point now where you're no longer like this kid. You're no longer this plant. You've fully grown and sprouted, and your feet have come out of the earth or whatever. So it's like you have the power to kind of go where you want at this point in your life. Like you are able to just step away from these energetic attacks, perhaps physical, if that is how it resonated. Maybe you've developed some methods for when you hear the way they push their ideals and put credit about what you do onto themselves, perhaps. Maybe you've found a way to deal with it. I'll just say how I resonate, just putting in earbuds, literally just not listening. But what I'm getting here is that the current situation is you're indecisive. You're not sure to perhaps stay or go. Because at the end of the day, of course, everything is all about love. So, you know, you love these people or person, whatever the situation. This can even just represent like addiction to something. It doesn't have to be a person even. Who knows? Other than you probably know, but I don't. Anyways. So maybe you have to face this person. Yeah, I'm just getting this is a home situation, pretty likely. and when you hear them express, you like close up. You put a pause on things. You try to find a way to leave the situation. So let's see what the advice is for dealing with this situation. It might be what you're doing. The Tower. Things need to change is the advice. Things are going to change. So I'm getting something is just going to shake this situation up to help you on its own, which I never wanted to just advise like, oh, just wait, you know, like if you feel you're in a really spooky situation that's not safe for you, definitely do what you feel is the safest route in terms of your health and like safety and all that. But if this is a situation that is toxic in the sense that you are for the most part A-okay, I'm getting like it is okay to continue on this path, that something is going to change this up, that just by being wherever you are going to notice that the situation changes on its own. Yeah, bringing you a new journey. So I am getting, you're indecisive about something. Maybe it's a time to let go of what should I do? Like, should I leave? Should I stay? Should I go? That kind of thing. Or like, should I do this? Should I do that? And I'm just getting like, the best thing to do is like, just don't even really think about the other person. Like, for the most part, it looks like you will be able to just listen to yourself, you know, maybe putting in earbuds and going about your day. That might be something that you do. Or maybe this person goes on a business trip or something. I'm just getting that you will get a break from this energy. The Empress, yeah. I'm just getting, you will be able to really focus in on your own journey. Something is going to split this situation so that your energy is much less involved with this person. So that's very, very good for you. It's very beneficial. So it looks like dealing with the situation is going to handle itself. So that's honestly what I'm getting here. My apologies if I am reading this wrong. And no, yeah, the Four of Wands. It just looks like, they have grown at this point, or something is going to shake things up for them to grow in such a way that they will leave you alone. They will respect your boundaries more. I think that is what might come from their end. And then on your end, I'm just seeing you are just letting go and detaching from the situation more and more. This is like your ticket. Continuing doing this. Continue to uncoil the snake. Depending on some of you guys, the snake might still be slightly coiled. And I think at the end of the day, in the long term, like our journey, this can often be a cycle of feeling entangled and then disentangled, and this dance that we do back and forth. So with this inner snake. So I'm just seeing like on its own that snake has uncoiled for you. So you guys might be seeing this as like the Kundalini. And then a final card for this. The Ace of Wands. Yeah, so with everything coming together, like honestly, like maybe aside from this situation, Spirit is saying like a lot of good things have been building up for you, and you've been growing a lot, and you've been working a lot on yourself and your journey. Spirit just says, keep focusing on that. You don't need to focus on this energy. You can be aware of the energy, but you don't need to feed into the energy. And I think you're just going to nurture yourself. Anytime the situation gets toxic or something, it looks like stepping away and finding a way to nurture yourself would be really good. I'll share with you guys. So I dealt with a situation today. What I did was I just left the house, and I ended up going to this healthy grocery store. I got myself things that I knew I wanted. One of them being turmeric, which is very, very good for you as far as I'm concerned, as I'm aware of, for many health benefits. And I'm going to talk about those and other things that I've learned about in my healing tips videos. But that being said, that's reading number 1. So I really hope that resonates with you guys. And thank you all for being here. I'm sending so much love and light, and I'm wishing you the best with your situation. And I'll talk to you guys next time, or in readings 2 and 3. Peace out. Okay. So, reading number 2. So, something I forgot to mention at the start of the video is about this being like a toxic situation. So this is not about saying like what's right, what's wrong, or like who's good, who's bad. None of that, of course. But more so just how does the situation make you feel? This is a toxic situation for you. So this is not to say anyone or anything in your life as a being is evil or toxic as an existence. It's just a matter of what it is for you or the situation when it comes to people's health and well-being. So I just wanted to clarify that for some reason. Well, not for some reason, but anyways, just to be more clear on my intentions of this reading, I guess, is a good way to put it. So, your situation, okay, you might be feeling trapped. This toxic situation might make you feel like past situations come up, past memories, past burning. It's like maybe you've done a lot of work with forgiveness and stuff, and then the toxic situation gets you worrying, like, maybe I haven't really fully forgiven because I'm still getting triggered. I'm still getting affected by this. And I'm getting that's the situation itself that does that. The situation has a lot of fire with it. So it's like you did heal it, but the burning came back. The sensation came back because the toxic situation is still there. So Spirit wants to just let you know right off the bat, like, you have done an excellent job with forgiveness and stuff. Like, don't downplay yourself. You have healed. Don't get misguided again. Don't get misguided again. I mean, like, you don't need to believe that you haven't recovered from this or that you haven't forgiven this person. You have. Even if the situation might build itself in a way that makes it difficult to be at peace with the circumstances, if that makes sense. You know, like, I'm getting like the situation is just hurting you. So I can tell you don't have any sort of ill will for the situation. You just want to be out of the situation. That's not resent. That's like wanting to feel free, wanting the pain to stop hitting you. You want to get outside of this fire, not be in the center of it. Yeah. So I see that you're in a situation where the fire comes and goes. So when the fire is not there, you're like thinking and daydreaming. You're like, okay, I feel a lot better now. How do I change this? How do I escape? How do I build my way out? The answer is cheesy. The answer is love. Holding that love within yourself, turning the situation into one that grounds you, one that makes you feel whole. Balance yourself, embody that energy of love. When this comes up, I am seeing there is a way around this. These might entrap you on a 2-dimensional level, but if you create 3D, you can move forwards, you can move backwards, you can move around these weird hand trees. I'm getting this is actually just what the energy makes you feel when you look on like a 2-dimensional plane, when you're looking this way and that way. But if you look in other directions, there are alternatives for you to leave the situation. And then we get this card. It's like you know you need to leave at some point, and you're sad that you couldn't bring all the energy with you. This can be like moving and things like that. That could be what's holding you back. Maybe you daydream about leaving a lot, and you feel really at peace and at balance, and you know it would feel even a lot like this, like more like this, once you're fully out of the situation. And I think what it is that there are other people involved. There's other feelings involved. You want to do that. You want to leave the situation, but you don't want to give up on anyone else who is there, because you know that the energy that is going on is a two-way street. So whatever toxicity you might be experiencing, at this point, you're pretty clearly aware that it's the other person that is creating toxicity within themselves or the situation. It doesn't have to be a person, but I feel that it is, and I feel that it's like you don't want to leave this situation behind because you don't want to go off and better yourself and learn other people did not get a bettering experience, so to speak. So I hope that's resonating. So I'm going to clarify each of these. Yeah, with this, I'm getting in a different energy. This is like a long-lasting fire that you're waiting for the rain to keep pouring out the fire or whatever. So, and in a different way I'm seeing this is your own, like, growing place. So you're in the process of growing and learning with this environment. It is strengthening you for your future, for a different situation. Wow. For that 10 of Cups that you daydream about. Spirit is saying, like, there are seasons to everything. Things grow, decay, and then grow again. There's a whole cycle to things. So you will get your time, your turn when this cage, when enough water pours on this fireplace. So in the meantime, the advice I can say is keep growing with the understanding that you hold love for everyone involved in the situation, and the parts where you burn and you hurt, it is just simply you are just learning, and the other person is learning too. So let's see what this energy is more so about. The 10 of Wands. So maybe there's this energy as though you like have to remain composed all the time with the situation. It takes a lot of work for you to not react or to not get triggered and lash out with this fire that's burning you. And so the advice for that, we get the other fiery energy. The advice is you have a right to feel what you're going to feel, and that there is a way for you to let go of that weight, but still be who you are. There is a way to do both. And it might just be not giving this person your time, which might lead us to this card here. This is like, I see. So this is you. Like, you're like, I'm so tired of this spiral, of the pattern of suffering that I've experienced with this toxic situation. And like that is giving you this energy of like, I think at first it gives you the, I can't wait any longer, I need to leave. But then I think when you see the spiral more and you see it outside of yourself, when you're able to separate from that energy that's burning you and detach from that and step away from it, but still be where you are, like being present with yourself, it's like you can see it like, okay, this is just the other person's suffering. I need to let go of their suffering and focus on myself and my future. No matter what the other person does, no matter how they might make me feel responsible for them, I am not. I am only responsible for myself. And so that might be a really helpful energy for you guys right now, as I guess sort of like advice. Just keep on focusing on yourself. Keep recognizing that you are not responsible for this other person's happiness, their well-being, anything like that. You are only responsible for your own happiness, and that the choices they make are what the choices that they are going to make. It's not on you. The Ten of Pentacles. So keep focusing on what you want. You want a place where everyone looks after each other and because everyone cares for themselves. You want that place in the long run. Like, you want a community, and you also want that in your own home. So you want to be around a community that is full of love and peace and safety and stuff like that. And you also want a home life where maybe you have a partner, maybe you've got kids, if this is something that resonates with you, or maybe you just want that energy of happily ever after with your home situation. And so Spirit is saying, keep on going, keep letting go of other people's responsibilities, because you are planning to put yourself in that energy, in that place. When you are there, the people there will not make you feel like they are your responsibility. They all are aware that they are their own responsibility. Everyone here coexists and works together on an equal playing field. Everyone is equal, and everyone cares about themselves and each other genuinely. So Spirit is saying, like, the best thing right now is like time, growth, patience, planning, and letting go of other people's bullshit. So I hope that resonates, and I hope this was helpful, truly. So have a good one, guys. Have an amazing rest of January, or whenever it is that you see these messages. And I love you all so much. I'll talk to you later. Peace out. Okay. Reading number 3. Red Jasper. So, what toxic situation might you be going through? And yeah, I'll say that. Okay, this card. I'm going to pull a few more cards first. Wow. Wow, this is some really powerful energy. The toxicity that this is referring to might be the energies, how you're feeling internally, or feeling... This is a toxicity of not really a person necessarily, but more so yourself, how you feel about yourself, the clutter that feels like you're stuck on it. So this could be referring to pain that you need to release. Yeah, this is a very, very positive reading. This is like similar to this is like PTSD is kind of the word that's coming up. This is like the recovery of dealing with the toxic situation. I think for those of you who chose reading 3, what you're more so looking for, and this all 1, 2, and 3 are all kind of talking about stuff, so like maybe they all resonate. But I'm getting the aspect of this is less so about the situation itself and more so about your own inner psyche after having dealt with something traumatic or having dealt with something that triggers you. I'm getting like you need to release it when it happens. When you get triggered, when stuff happens, it fills you with a sorrow where you're just like, sorrowful that you see so much of the situation. I just see reading 3, like the big thing about this is you are seeing it as love, and it's just like you're just like, this is just not okay. And like just like that learning and grieving process of like, I deserve to feel better than this. I didn't deserve these kinds of treatments on me. This is like both your light side and your shadow side are like, yeah, this feeling was awful. You know, this isn't a battle with yourself. This is like everything inside of yourself telling you like, this was not okay. And I think there's even something sadder about it where you're just like, this person or this situation that loves you, they're so detached from what's actually happening. And you might be feeling like your head and your body are separate at this time, depending where you're at on this part with this situation that you've been processing. You might be needing to get your thoughts out there, and you might be needing to get your feelings out there. That's the advice I'm getting. Doing both and doing it in a constructive, healthy way that is releasing this energy. This might relate to reading 2, how to release the fire that's burning inside of you. If that resonates with you guys, reading 2 might be something that resonates. That is what helps you achieve this energy of wholeness, of balance within yourself. A balanced throat chakra, heart chakra, third eye chakra, your balanced light and shadow. And I'm just seeing that with all of this, Spirit is saying this is the process to you growing and transforming and feeling like you've overcome this traumatic situation, this toxic situation. So I'm seeing this might be a cycle you've been blossoming out of throughout your life, and that you've been continuing to grow over and over again. And so Spirit is saying if you're dealing with a toxic situation right now, it is no different this time. This is going to help you grow. You are going to get through it and overcome it, and you're always going to choose love every time. You know it. At this point, you've got to know it. It's like when you detach from the situation, you look at it, you're like, yeah, I know. It's like, I know, like, I'll be fine. And like, this is just one situation, and I don't have to be a part of it once it's over with. It's like you don't have to feel responsible for this other person. But I just think as you grow, you're going to still hold that vibration of love for the situation, like for people in the situation, and help in whatever way you can. But you're going to do it in a way that doesn't bring you back into the traumatic situation. You're going to find more distant ways to help from afar, loving from afar, supporting energetically, and knowing like, I gotta go on the spaceship and be by myself and be with people that I want to be around with, be around energies that do make me feel good, stuff like that. So reading 3 was a lot shorter than the first 2, and I'll pull a few clarifiers on this, but maybe just one. 7 of Pentacles. The other things, yeah, Spirit just wants to say this is a growth period. This is going to take time. And in terms of how long, 7 of Wands, it is relevant to you and how long you need to be with each stage of the challenge, what you're going to learn from each one. If you don't resist the challenge and you go and work with it and work through the energy, you will get through it at a different pace than if you resisted these challenges and if it's stuck with you. So depending on how long it takes for you to let those thoughts and feelings out there, that will impact this energy right here. So depending on that, once you get through that each time, that's the 5 of Swords. That's the energy that you're working on doing. That's the challenge here. Because maybe you get caught up in the other people involved in the situation. How, like, what could they be thinking, or how are they feeling, or what are they doing to themselves or to you, all sorts of stuff. It's just like you're thinking about other people and like how are they going to deal with this situation. And Spirit is saying like you don't need to worry about why they're doing it, how they're doing it, why is this happening, how do you win, how do you get them to see. Spirit is saying it's not your responsibility. It's okay that you just focus on your own health and essentially leave it up to them, leave them up to their own devices, and just hope for the best for them. If they fall for certain habits, if they hurt in some way, if they hurt themselves or another or whatever by their own choices, that is not on you. That's not on you. You do not have to feel responsible, and you have a right to step away. And then the Knight of Wands. So you might be apprehensive about that, but intuitively, you're going to know what to do each time, which is to choose yourself, to better yourself, to separate from the situation each time. So the last card I'm going to get is the Wheel of Fortune. So what I'm getting here is every time you do the absolute best for yourself with each situation, it continues to move you forward on this wheel. There will be a point in your life where this situation where you will be fully detached from it, and it'll feel quite good. But it's just going to take quite some more time. But I think you've already been seeing the progress of your growth and how you've been getting closer and closer to being able to evacuate fully from the situation. Yeah. And the last piece of advice is that there is a connection, or not advice, but it's just something that, a confirmation for you guys dealing with this, that you guys might be, this isn't the toxic situation, but you guys, or if it resonates for you, but what I'm getting is there is a true love out there that you've been feeling. It is yourself, yes, but you may resonate with this in another way, where it's like a person, twin flame, soulmate, something like that. A lot of this energy makes me feel that way. And so what I'm getting is that someone who you love, and obviously they love you, because why wouldn't they, you know? But, and it's like you love yourselves, you love each other. In other words, someone that's not toxic. Yeah, the 2 cups right there, twin flame type of energy. There's this energy that this is actually helping you with that part of the journey. That doesn't mean get caught up on that and like, oh, I need to do this to be with my twin flame, to be with my person. No, not at all. This is just like you already are with them energetically. The other aspect of what I'm trying to say is like during these hardships, your twin flame is supporting you. Their love for you, I'm seeing it help. It means a lot to you. It helps a lot. Maybe this is how I resonate. Maybe on days that are going to be really tough for you, whether you know it or not, you'll have a dream about this person, or you'll get a lot of signs and synchronicities about them, reminding you of their love and making you feel that love. And it helps you with the difficult situations. Maybe you guys have noticed that happens a lot. Something like that. But if you're not noticing that, what Spirit is saying is that there is someone out there rooting for you. Someone who is in fact a fan. I'm a fan of you, you know. I'm a big fan. But I'm getting there's a very particular love situation, lover, person, partner, whatever, that is a big fan of you. And they are really rooting you on, supporting you with every part of the situation. They've got your back in all parts of your circumstances. They truly know you deserve better than this, to feel better than this toxic situation that you guys might be in. Yeah. So I'm just getting, if you're in separation from this person and you're dealing with this toxic situation alone, I'm getting you're not doing it alone. Energetically, you have a person supporting you, and it's vice versa. You are supporting them. Whether you guys are aware of it or not, it's happening. I don't want to give false hope or these kinds of things, but I just, sometimes messages come out and I just have to say them the way that I see them, and it's usually in the way that I relate with it. That's how I do tarot readings, And those are the messages that came out. So I hope those resonate with you guys. And a final message there is the Empress and the King of Pentacles and the World. I am getting this is a partnership type of match. Two different individuals, and not just the two halves inside of you, but that on like another level where it's you and another person, two other halves that both have their own halves, making yourselves and each other whole. Yeah. All right. So I hope that made sense. And I'm wishing the absolute best for you guys. I'm sending